Despite all that is being done in Wales to keep Welsh alive, the language is slowly dying in the quarrying town of Penmaenmawr on the Carnarvonshire coast, and the residents are so concerned about the future of the Welsh language in their town that a public meeting was called to discuss what actions could be taken to stop the language disappearing from the town altogether. At that meeting it was decided to ask the Director of Education for Carnarvonshire to establish a Welsh school in the town. Well, I asked some of the Penmaenmawr mothers if they would send their children to a Welsh school if one was built.
Yes, definitely. Because my eldest child's in school and she didn't speak very much English when she went there. Well, now she's speaking English all the time. And when she gets home, Dewi speaks Welsh with me, but when they're together they speak a lot of English, and I'm trying to correct it.
What advantages would you say if they were speaking Welsh all the time?
Well, not all the time, I don't mind. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's a little English, but later on, if they have a job in Wales, well, especially in the rural districts, they'll want to speak Welsh.
Yes, definitely. I think my children should go to a Welsh school. You see, I'm English and my husband is Welsh. Of course, they hear Welsh spoken at home, but for them to speak Welsh properly, I think they should be taught Welsh, to read it and write it in school.
Well, if you're English, why are you so anxious for your children to learn Welsh?
Well, as I say, my children are half Welsh. My husband is Welsh. They are in a Welsh family. We live in Wales. I think they should definitely speak Welsh if they're going to continue living in Wales.
The public meeting was held at this chapel, whose minister, the Rev Ioan Griffith, was responsible for calling the parents' attention to the lack of Welsh in Penmaenmawr. Well, Mr. Griffith, can you tell me why the Welsh language has practically disappeared from Penmaenmawr?
Well, as far as I can say, all I can say really is that when I came to Penmaenmawr 12 months ago from Nevin, which is a really Welsh-speaking area, I found that it was pointless speaking in Welsh to the children here. I heard a number of young people saying that there was no purpose in their coming to the Welsh services as they did not understand the language, what was said. But the point is, there are in Penmaenmawr a number of English churches, but they don't go there either. As I see it, therefore, the only conclusion one can come to is that when a Welshman loses his language, he also, more often than not, loses his religion as well.
Well, what's the answer to the problem?
Definitely the establishing of a Welsh primary school here.
Well, what moves have you made to do this?
Well, after speaking to a number of both English and Welsh-speaking parents, both Welsh and English-speaking parents, and seeing their eagerness, we sent a letter to the Director of Education, Mr. Mansell Williams, to ask him to consider the possibility of establishing a Welsh school here. And he replied that the Primary Education Committee would be considering the request on September the 15th.
And if a Welsh school is not built, what then?
Without a Welsh school here, I can only foresee that in another generation there will be no Welsh churches here. And by now we already have the names of over 60 children whose parents wish that they could attend a Welsh school.